Okay, hi everybody. Just want to go over a couple of things for our class, Anatomy and Physiology 2. And I want to go over some of the things that we're going to be talking about this semester. This class starts with Chapter 17. It's Chapter 17 and runs through Chapter 26, maybe 27. So the first chapter, of course, is the endocrine system, where we're going to talk or continue to talk about communication. So at the end of AP1, we talked about the nervous system, we talked about the autonomic nervous system, and we're going to complete that with talking about the endocrine system and sort of wrap all that up. And then there's 3 chapters for the cardiovascular system. So 3 chapters going over blood, the heart, and the vessels. And then that runs into then the lymphatic system, the lymphatic and immune systems, or immune system. Immune system. So the lymphatic system and immune system are kind of encompassed together because they both sort of, the immune system sort of depends on the lymphatic system and that kind of thing. So there's a chapter that talks about both together there. So kind of the good thing about AP2 is that the things that we're going to talk about are less microscopic, less of something that you can't see or relate to. So, endocrine system, we're talking about hormones. You certainly know what, insulin is probably, and, things like that. So we're going to talk about that stuff. The cardiovascular system, the heart and the blood and the vessels. Everyone's had their blood pressure taken. Everyone's had their pulse taken and that kind of thing. So you can kind of relate to that. Everybody's been sick, so you can certainly relate to the immune system. And then we go into the respiratory system. And then the digestive systems. And everybody breathes, so the respiratory system is the one you can relate to. It's kind of interesting to see what the body does once you breathe the air in. What does it do with the oxygen? How does it get it through the body and that kind of thing? So we'll talk about all of that. Digestive system, everybody eats, so we just need to learn what happens to food once it enters your mouth. And then after that, we'll talk about metabolism, which is what the body does with the food once it's absorbed there. We get energy and things like that from the food that we eat. So metabolism and nutrition. And I'm sorry, my handwriting is terrible, but sorry. And then from that, we go to the urinary system, which is one of my favorites, and talk about how the blood is filtered and cleaned. And from that, the urinary system goes into fluid balance. So we talk about acid-base balance, we talk about electrolytes, things like that. And then from there, the reproductive system. And then from there, development, which we probably will not get to. Development and heredity. So we will try, but that's a hard one to get to. This is a lot of stuff to cover. A lot of stuff. And we only brush the top of it, the general part of it. Okay, so just understand we've got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of things to do, and it's going to be really important that you prepare each day. Because each day we're going to talk about, I'm not going to lecture, should I say. So we're going to talk about the chapters that you will have looked at and reviewed before coming into class. So to prepare for that, I want you to review, if you can, the main important things in AP1. We're going to review that on that first day. So review AP1. So just a few main things that are important from AP1. So unfortunately, AP1 isn't done and gone. You're going to need to remember the things that you learned there in order to understand all of these things to the left of there, all those different chapters. So try to review the properties of water. Review acidity and alkalinity. Basically the pH scale. Make sure you know, sort of are familiar with that again. Make sure you understand bonding, ionic and covalent bonding, hydrogen bonds, going to come up again. Make sure you understand what a polar covalent bond is. So make sure you review some of that. Understand the plasma membrane, how it's made up. You know, it's a bilipid, or bilayer of, lipids, whatever. Fatty things can go through easily. Water goes through fairly easily. And then really kind of look at how things go through and move through that membrane. Make sure you review passive and active transport. Osmosis. Going to come up again a lot. Make sure you look at tonicity again. So hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. Graded and action potentials. So make sure you remember those. And really go through the parasympathetic and the sympathetic parts of the autonomic nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system is going to come up in every single chapter of AP2. This is when we talk about, how things are regulated and that kind of thing. Make sure when you look at the sympathetic, go over adrenal gland. Remember, the adrenal gland can take epinephrine and put it into the blood as a hormone rather than as a neurotransmitter. So be familiar with that. Go over, the effects of parasympathetic, the effects of sympathetic, what they do. Make sure you understand that the sympathetic or parasympathetic is, rest and digest. So it's going to be doing things that are for that type of thing, like increasing digestion and, doing things for resting and healing and recovery and stuff like that. And that the sympathetic is more for the doing, remember, action, fight and flight type of things. So raising blood pressure, raising heart rate, raising respiration and stuff like that. So just go through that and just make sure you're familiar, because we're going to review all of that on the first day. So be ready for that. We'll do an activity for that or whatever. And this video, of course, will be posted, and then on your modules, the different parts of Blackboard, there'll be videos that you'll watch, that you'll need to watch before or look at before you come to class each day. And also on your Blackboard, there'll be the PowerPoints that are narrated by me. They're kind of boring, but at least you'll have the PowerPoint and you'll have someone to kind of go through it while you're looking at it. So you need to look at those, and you need to look at these videos when you come to class, because I will not be lecturing in the, just talking in front of the class. So we'll do some activities and things like that to get some questions going so that you can actually learn the material rather than just listening to me. I know it already. I need to make sure that you guys know it. So looking forward to seeing everybody on the first day, and please come prepared.